I put myself between the charging ogre and our wizard, and raised my shield to deflect his blow.
Alright, sounds like defy danger to me. Roll plus strength.
Well, that's a 4.
Good news, mark XP. Bad news, the heavy blow tosses you about 20 feet into a pile of what looks like vines. As you land, the vines begin to move around you.
Oh, wait, what? I want to discern realities. Okay, got an 8. That means one question, right? What's about to happen?
As the tendrils begin to make noise and move closer to your friend, it becomes apparent he's about to listen to that D&D podcast.
Woohoo! Record.
No, it's Mike.
J. Dark Sun Berard.
Me.
No, I was... Okay,
We
I'm
made
not
it
going to explain.
6 fucking seconds.
Okay, but no, this is just so you know that we're all on and synced up and
No,
etc.
we're keeping it.
So you
At
can
this
cut-
point,
Yes.
it's not even worth it. Thank you, everybody, for downloading this episode of That D&D Podcast. On the last session that you heard, Zarko, Sam, and Auric made it back to First Conquest. What we're going to do is catch up with the other side of the group. That would be Voltus, Rook, and Bill. We're going to document their return to First Conquest, and then we're going to see if we can't get those two parties to meet back up and, tell some stories around a campfire, have some pillow fights, paint each other's nails, the usual.
Sing a couple of songs.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm Mike Jedrickson Berard, and I play the part of Rook, the Cleric of Bloody Conquest.
Hi, I'm Andrew, and I play the role of Voltus, the Lawful Paladin.
Hi, my name is Robert. I play the role of Bill, and he does pretty much whatever Rook tells him to do.
And I am Chris. I play the GM, and at some point I will be playing some projected voices. It'll all make sense. You'll figure it out. So, Voltus, Rook, and Bill, you guys have instituted a change in power in the town of Scrabhurst via some...
Violence. The word you're looking for is violence.
I was going to say some less than conventional means, but this is kind of a...
It's pretty fucking conventional.
Yeah,
Skelly
I
man.
realize that
Pay
as I
attention
said
to
it.
the podcast.
Yeah, especially for you murder hobos.
Hey, we're not hobos.
Before you went to Scrabhurst, you got the surrendered archers that had come to attack the inhabitants of the Everlight Lagoon. You put them on the cart that was pulled by the donkey that Auric provided.
Donkey.
You sent one of the villagers from Cold Oaks with the cart and instructions on how to get to First Conquest. That has already departed. So you guys are probably, let's say, 6 hours behind that. I think it's like late in the night at this point. Did you guys want to try and set up shop here, or what you want to do? I think you all decided you were going to head back to First Conquest, but
Yes.
when do you want to do that?
Now?
Yeah, is there any good reason other than it's dark and potentially spooky to not travel at night?
Well, that we could injure the horses, and they're probably borrowed.
What horses?
I assumed they were horses. Are they not horses?
I mean,
We had a donkey and a cart. That was about it.
I can
yeah,
pick you
had.
up on my back if you want. Rook.
seems legit.
Eagle!
Are we within 1 day's walk of First Conquest?
It's like 6 days.
Yeah, you're about, it's 4 to the Mirthless Marsh, another day to the Split, and about 6 hours. So you're about 5.5 days away. And I believe you've got 3 days of rations.
We should see if we can acquire some rations in town.
Let's not march through the night.
Do we have our other group? Don't listen to this. Do we have our skeletons with us?
No, you sent those back.
Okay.
Yeah, they stay at the skeleton hut.
Okay.
How long was it from Scrabhurst to the marsh, the Bone Light, or whatever?
It's about an hour from
Overlay.
Scrabhurst to the marsh, and about another hour from the marsh to Cold Oaks.
Okay. And they had, like, free food and stuff.
Yes, provided by the Bone Hive.
Yes. Okay. We should go talk to the Bone Hive and see if we can't get 4 or 5 days of rations.
Sure.
And we'll offer to like put in the equivalent amount of work and time and effort and stuff because we don't want to take food out of these people's mouths.
Right.
Okay. You guys are in agreement on that plan of action?
Bill will do what he tell him to. Yes.
Okay. You
Wait,
get
what'd you
to...
say? What'd you say, Rook?
I said, Bill, help us.
All right.
You're our only hope.
Okay.
We're all counting on you, Bill.
Good thing, Ball.
You get to the Everlight Lagoon about 3 o'clock in the morning. There are some individuals tending to the fields, and Roland, who, as you may remember, is now much larger, comes up to you, and he looks back and forth at you for a moment, I guess waiting for you all to speak.
Hey, I think that we got a long journey ahead of us, and we were hoping that we could get some provisions, probably fairly traded, or we could offer some work if necessary. I'm not really sure how you guys barter with our current system of socialism.
It is a concern, isn't it?
You hear the whisper on the wind again, and it says, I've told you before that whatever you need, we will try to provide. You have protected this town, and to us you are members. You are citizens of Cold Oaks. Take what you need for your journey.
Can we help? Like, I don't want to just take food out of the citizen's mouth. See what I'm saying?
You have already helped more than we could have asked of anyone.
Alright, so let's just take what we need within reason and not go too far overboard.
Okay, so I think you have the 3 days of rations, so if you each took another 3, that would be just what you needed to get you into town.
Yes.
Is that the plan, or do you want to sneak a little bit extra? Okay. Okay, so make sure to note on your inventory that you have 6 days of rations. And since you guys are undertaking a perilous journey, we're going to need to do the Undertake a Perilous Journey move. So, since we've got 3 people, unless somebody wants to be a slacker, each of you needs to pick a thing that you want to do. We need a Trailblazer, a Quartermaster, and a Scout, I believe.
Yep.
Rook scouts, or blazes trails. Or he does the wisdom thing. Quartermasters.
They're all wisdom.
They are all wisdom.
Okay, well, I 12 it.
Which Quartermaster? Okay.
I'll scout, because that's probably the one that neither of you will allow the other to do.
And what was the other one?
Trailblaze. Basically, the Scout looks for threats, the Trailblazer helps keep you guys on track, and the Quartermaster makes sure you don't run out of food. So it's 2d6 plus whiz for all of them.
Pretty sure my whiz is 0.
Same here, so it's pretty easy.
Yep.
Just roll 2d6.
Yes!
Yeah, 7s!
Well, you didn't completely, kill anything, or, fuck anything up. 7 and 9, each roll performs their job as expected. The normal number of rations are consumed. The journey takes about as long as expected. No one gets the drop on you, but you don't get the drop on them either. So... Rook, you were quartermastering, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so...
I made sure that we ate properly. I also kind of stretched the rations a little bit with what I could. I'm not saying I mixed in sawdust with the hardtack, but no one's going to go hungry, but at the same time, we wind up with 1 extra ration, probably.
Yep. He's not saying he mixed in sawdust, but you notice when you fart, it smells like cedar, so...
You keep Bill from eating 3 portions of meat.
Yeah. It's meat this time.
The travel takes the normal amount of time. You don't run into any obstacles or hindrances on the way. You pass by the Mirthless Marsh. You see some goblins who are out hunting. One of them looks familiar to you. You remember Grinkle from way, way a long time ago?
I do remember Grinkle.
He waves at
I take
you.
a moment. Who is Grinkle?
Grinkle is the thing that the changeling impersonated and we didn't stab.
Yeah, y'all met him at way right after you killed the Gators, and he led you to the Goblin town in the Mirthless Marsh where they were keeping the injured
Are
first
you sure we didn't kill him?
Conquestians. I am
Yes.
100%
Doesn't sound like
positive.
us. All right, we wave and carry on.
He goes back to whatever the hell he's doing. Goblins.
Not biblically.
Let's hope not.
Not yet.
So a little bit after
What the
morning,
fuck, guys?
on the 6th day, you arrive at the gates of First Conquest.
And on the 7th day we rest.
We'll see. We haven't gotten there yet.
Probably not. We're pretty wicked. There's no rest for us.
That's true.
Money don't grow on trees. You guys get to the front gate, and one of the town guards recognizes you. He says, "You guys have been gone for a while. Almost more than a week now, huh?
Couple weeks.
How'd it go?"
Went really well. I mean, part of our job out there was to spread the good word of First Conquest. We made several good we made one good contact, and we've made a couple other ancillary contacts. I think we got to keep an eye on those shifty dwarves, but I think that we did our job pretty well. There's a lot of good news on the horizon, and I think that we can help out the city quite a bit.
I'm pretty sure I made good contact with the former mayor.
It was, I mean, in the Fallout 4 swing for the fences sort of way, you made good contact with them. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He said, when you mentioned the dwarves, he says, "Oh yeah, they came through probably about a day ago or so. The donkey looked dead tired, and the person escorting the donkey looked lost. Where did you guys find these people? You didn't go beyond the marshes, did you?
Far beyond.
Yes.
A little.
On purpose?"
Look, man, it's our job to spread the good word.
No, I understand. Far be it from me to stand in the way of any kind of holy quest, but that's uncharted territory. We don't maps don't go there, so we don't normally go there.
Correction. Maps didn't go there.
And we will in the future. Because the only way to get better is to expand our borders, find new enemies to subjugate.
Mm-hmm. And make their strength their own.
Sure.
Incorporate their uniqueness into the swarm.
Spreading skeleton democracy.
Managed democracy. For Super Earth. No, wait, sorry. First Conquest.
Service guarantees citizenship.
If we get enough skeletons, we can name this thing whatever we want.
Did you guys have any particular place you wanted to go now that you've made it back to town?
We need to report in.
Yeah.
Alright.
Like, theoretically, some kind of authority assigned us this mission. There was some religious person that I can't remember the name of.
The Saint Sister.
Yeah, that's the one.
You all came in through here. The Saint Sister's quarters and such are, let me point it out on the map, it's right off of the main kind of market hub area. One of these buildings, I don't know. But yeah, it's as far away from any of the walls as possible to be, the most secure.
Can I offer a piece of world building? Actually, no, this is confusing as shit, but no matter what side of the street you're facing, her office always seems to be on the right side, because she's always on the right.
Nice. Little does anybody else in town know, she's got like 6 offices.
Yeah, seriously. And just like a whole bunch of portals set up or something.
She's just got a bunch of attendants who can ring a bell and say, "Oh, I need it over in this one. Be right back."
They need me in 6, quick.
So as you guys head to the middle of town, to head to the Saint Sisters official building / lodging / whatever, you see the other 3 members of your party from earlier hanging out in the middle of town also.
I do that really rude shoulder bump walking past thing to Zarko, like 4 times.
Okay. And also, those 3 members of the party, why don't you introduce yourselves now?
Hi, I'm Adam. I'll be playing Oric the Rogue.
I'm Renee, and I will be playing Sam the Elvish Ranger with my trusty direwolf Max.
Hey, I'm David, and I'm playing Zarko, the totally cool wizard that Voltus needs to get hip to.
That is one interpretation.
You can't just introduce yourself as totally cool.
He just did.
You can't, because it's already been done now, Bobby.
Yeah, he introduces himself by leaping over a shark on a skateboard doing wicked ollie.
He's got 2 wands with pistol grips on them, and he's just firing magic missiles into the air to impress everybody.
Yeah, I skate by on a skateboard, and I do a really sick dark grind. My unseen servant assists me so I don't fall over.
Bill didn't realize how much he hated the wizard until just now.
More like unseen crutches.
Aren't you glad you smoothed over all the issues you had with that unseen servant, Zarko?
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It helps them make the best entrances ever.
So, as you guys see each other in the middle of town, you start walking to each other to catch back up on stuff. And
Oh wait, this is where the scary cloud.
all of a
stuff
sudden, the
comes.
sky darkens.
Oh damn!
If an eyeball pops out, I'm out.
As far as the eye can see, the sky is just a uniform sheet of dark gray. Slowly, a funnel cloud begins to pull down right above the middle of town. It stops about 100, 200 feet up, and figures emerge from it. There's probably about a dozen or so. And the first thing you notice about them, aside from their pretty bitchin' robes, is that each of them is riding on a disc of light that is the same color as their robes.
So we're in Tron.
I was gonna say a bunch of fucking anime out there.
As they emerge from the funnel cloud, they spread apart, and they begin to fly towards the walls of town. And once you've got a rough circle of them sort of just orbiting all around the edge of town, they start chanting. And
Can we do nothing to interrupt them?
this all happens pretty quickly, but you'll have time to do things in a bit. Just hold on. So a beam of light... See, I already did this part for the other party, so we have to get to the parody point. Beams of light shoot out of the discs and converge pretty much directly over you guys' heads. And as they do, the light begins to sort of collect and elongate, and eventually it forms a pale face inside of a dark purple hood. It's about 30 feet tall, and no matter where you're standing, it looks like it's looking directly at you.
Does it seem like we owe him money? Is he looking at us like we owe him money?
He's looking at you with disdain, it seems.
It's not a no.
Is this thing controlling the weather?
You don't know?
Is it scaly?
It's a shriveled-looking face.
Yeah, Zarko'd like to spout some lore on this.
Okay.
Or shoot it in the mouth?
First one and then the other.
Why not both?
I would like to spout some lore in the form of spouting magic missiles for my hands.
I got a 9. So you will tell me something interesting. It's on me to make it useful.
All right. Fuck, I don't know. Hold on. Give me a second.
Whoa!
You fuck.
We are off the rails.
Professional DM skills.
Zarko,
Fuck, I
I
don't
didn't know you had
know.
a thing for shriveled faces.
His face is real wrinkly.
In all the right ways.
The hell does that mean?
So what are you trying to spout lore on specifically? Like the guy, the kind of magic? What are you looking for?
Well, anything.
Well, it has to be a specific something. Like, you could try to spout lore on the kind of magic being used, or spout lore on, hey, do I know anything about 12 dudes in different colored robes floating on discs, or...
Yeah. Tell me about, like, is there, like, are there stories about this that I know about happening before? Similar events.
Thanks, dude. Magic.
You remember from somewhere a story of riders of light who came to a town, and that was really the last recorded thing from that particular town that ever happened.
Night Riders in a Storm.
Now, where do you know that from? Did somebody tell you that story? Is it a book you read? Where do you have that tidbit of knowledge?
I think it was probably a story overheard from some sailor that was just in port a long time ago.
Okay.
Saying like he was at sea on a ship and they saw this strange, mysterious light appear above a town, and this appeared before there, and then the town, was gone after that thing happened.
Sounds promising. This is going to be great.
Okay, so are you conveying this info to the rest of the group?
I think Zarko's just going to say, this is bad.
Right after you say, this is bad, the projected face opens its mouth and a booming voice issues that can be heard for miles in every direction. And it says,
"You live your lives in folly. You worship corpse gods. You kneel to husks that are unable to or unwilling to aid you. You kill in the name of things that long ago abandoned this world. We are the harbingers of the distant prince, the heralds of his coming storm, the godless, and we bring you a choice. Abandon your worship of the weak and unworthy deities. Kneel in supplication to an entity with power, one with the ability to unify this wounded world, or be removed from this place by the faithful, by those deserving of this town. In 10 days' time, the Crimson Fist will arrive at your gates. For your sake, let those gates be open."
Voltus, rip his head off.
I don't know, I kind of like the sound of this so far. Unifying the world under a brutal regime.
after it talks, it flickers. The light kind of explodes almost like a giant set of fireworks.
So this is like a pre-recorded message.
Sort of.
This message will self-destruct if not stored properly.
The beams of light go back into the discs, and the 12 figures fly off in different directions.
I wanted to yell something at them.
Feel free. They're still, they're still existing.
Gonna yell at least one of them to get the fuck down here, using I am the law.
Okay, pick a color, and...
let's go with purple.
Purple.
Purple's probably a fucking chump.
Alright, so tell me what you are saying.
Get the fuck down here. 7 plus they choose one, do what I say, back away cautiously, then flee, or attack me.
Okay. Are you invoking the name of your deity or anything like that, or just saying get the fuck down here?
In the name of Lash, get the fuck down here.
You hear a hiss, and then there is a quick series of words in a language you don't understand. And shortly after that, an enormous fireball issues from this disc and heads in your direction.
Anyways, with this fireball heading towards me, I'm gonna bat it back to him with my shield, Legend of Zelda style.
So is this fireball going to affect anybody else, or?
It is huge, and it is heading towards the center of town. So I'm going to need everybody who wants to not be hit by a fireball to defy some danger to get the hell out of there in time.
I'm gonna tank it.
I'll cast a counterspell.
Yeah, I still think my favorite thing about Koro's fireball is the only thing he ever crit with it was a civilian.
Well, you mean maybe that guy was a dick.
That is always a possibility.
So defy danger is a what?
If you want to shove innocent civilians out of your way, you can use strength. If you would like to weave between them, you can use dexterity.
Can I use my literal shield and my faith as my shield? And probably try to shield some of the innocents nearby.
I guess that would probably be Constitution to withstand the force and protect those people.
Yeah. Jesus.
Spell is counter.
But it only doesn't affect Zarko, so.
Woo!
That's not
Saving
good.
all of the people.
Oh no! But he gets experience, so that's a thing.
You accidentally push civilians into the fireball.
Accidentally.
So, okay, let me go down the list.
I'll put this out just to tempt you. I'm willing to have very bad things happen to Voltus to save some innocent people.
Yeah, you are.
Sam,
Yes.
you got a 9,
Yes.
which you stumble, hesitate, or flinch. So I get to offer you a worst outcome, a hard bargain, or an ugly choice. There are some people who are blocking the way for Max to get out of the way. Are you going to put those people in harm's way, or trust that Max will survive a fireball?
Chris, you are the best, worst kind of fucker.
I hate you so fucking much right now.
Because you didn't swing at her. You took a swing at her fucking dog.
Shit. Okay, how many people are there?
Let's say a family. Mom, dad, 2 kids.
God damn it!
For everyone playing at home,
Yeah, that's kind
Sam
of like you,
wants to
Chris,
know,
right?
how many people are going to be hurt if I save my dog instead?
Like, I mean, I would legitimately be willing for some people to get hurt to save my dog, but I don't know about a family. That I don't think Sam could do
Look,
that.
the family probably did something wrong. It's okay.
Mom, my birthday's tomorrow. What are we gonna do for that?
Shit.
Just discern realities on the family real quick.
Can I do that? I would totally do that.
This is a spur of the moment, like, you have to make a split-second decision, which I'm giving you like 30 seconds to make. So, family or Max, who's getting hurt?
Well, you know how it is, Chris. These life or death situations, time slows down.
I'm gonna have to. Oh shit! I'm gonna shout at the people and at Max, and I'm.
Hope for the best.
I'm gonna. I don't fucking. I don't even know.
Good luck,
Okay,
fuckers! And Sam just...
yeah, like I'm gonna like yell at the people to get out of the way. I guess. I mean, I can't actively sacrifice them to save Max, but I can
Yes, you can.
open. I could.
Voltus would do that.
Yes,
I mean,
but
Rook would
I'm
do
not
that.
Volta. Sam would not do that. I'm gonna shout at the people to move and tell Max to duck.
Poor Max. Your master didn't care enough for you. Mistress didn't care enough for you.
So you tell the people to move out of the way. One of them bends down to try to pick up their kid. In the process, Mac tries to jump over that person as they're hunched over. Right as the fireball lands and a wave of flame scorches his back. So we're going to deal with the consequences of that in a little bit. We're going to rewind a few seconds. Back to Rook. You were using your faith to shield you. So how... Oh, wait, we got Auric, sorry. Auric 13. What, was that dexterity or strength?
Yeah, dexterity.
Okay. With no problem, you're used to blending into a crowd.
Or jumps over Sam and Max. And, like, the entire family.
You're used to blending into a crowd Assassin's Creed style, so you're able to weave through them, and you are safely out of the danger zone when that thing goes off. Rewinding a few seconds. Rook, how are you using your faith to shield you? Are you saying a prayer? Or are you curling into a ball like a pill bug?
No, these are these people who are called upon false gods and decried Foz, essentially. The old gods are nothing beneath us. And Rook just withstands the blast to show them how weak their faith truly is.
So for a long time, people will be talking about the courageous cleric who stood there, arms crossed, and emerged from a fireball completely unscathed.
Saint Rook.
Rook walks through the flames with his hands held out, stigmata dripping from the wounds.
Just like Rook will be remembered for his actions during the fireball incident, so will Bill, but for a much different reason. He pushes a lot of people out of the way, and being such a big, strong man, he actually pushes them down. So while he's able to make it out, the people he pushed, some of them are not.
What?
You're pushing
That's a good
civilians
roll,
out of the
though.
way to get to safety.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah,
consequences
dog.
to your
How did you think that
actions.
was going to go?
Whoa, ha, 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 ha.
I rolled an 11. I thought it was going to go well.
For you, yeah!
It did for you.
Okay. Goddamn.
Chris is
GM.
evil GM tonight. Have you not noticed that?
Yeah, I am now.
This is just further reinforcing my decision to use I am the law in everything.
2 people end up dead, being close enough to where the fireball impacts, and 3 of them are burned.
Well, it's better than 5 people being dead.
Well, that's true.
Going back, Zarko,
Yes.
casting a counterspell to protect yourself. how exactly does that look?
I just... Zarko pulls his hands out of his robes and waves them in a complicated pattern.
In the air.
Because the Wyvern
Like
just
you
don't
just
care.
don't care.
And a glowing blue sphere sort of appears around him.
Much like Rook was able to withstand the flames, your protective shield enables you to suffer no damage from it. Unfortunately, Voltus,
You.
you rolled a 5,
A little bit.
so, jeez. We got some problems.
Like I said, I'm willing to have some very bad things happen to me in order to save more civilians.
So you have a bunch of people get behind you when you've got your shield out, thinking that it'll be sort of like a rock in a turbulent river, that it'll just sort of part and go around. And it sort of does, but this thing's got a lot more power behind it than you're expecting. It begins to slowly push you backwards, and gradually it's lifting your shield up as opposed to just pushing you back. So if
I turn my shield to the side and take it in the chest, do I think that will have a better chance of protecting those behind me?
There is a possibility that it will at least dissipate the damage to the others.
Then that's what I'm going to do.
Okay. So you turn around, you take the brunt of the force of it. Searing pain sweeps up and down your spine, out to your limbs, and you can feel the armor actually almost acting like a brand. All the seams are beginning to sort of cook onto you almost. Roll me 2d6.
Cool.
And ignore armor.
Forever. Whoa! Hey.
So you take your 4 damage,
Mm-hmm.
and for a good little while, you're going to have some pretty gnarly burns. It'll take you several days of rest and some somewhat expensive ointments to fix the boils and such that you're going to have.
Ugh.
And until you have that taken care of, you're going to have the scarred ability.
Goodness. Valtis is pretty okay with that because it demonstrates both the depth of his faith and the fact that he needs to continue to improve.
And that he's willing to let himself be hurt to save others, right?
And Bill thinks that was pretty hardcore of him to do.
Some of the ones who are further away from you
I think everybody's surprised at that.
get some like 2nd or 3rd degree burns. Nobody dies, and those who are closer to you are better off since the fire doesn't regroup, I guess you could say, till further down.
Mhm.
Overall, in the course of the thing, there's probably 20 or 30 people who died in the middle of town, but thanks to some actions from you guys, a good 15 or 20 or so are alive that probably wouldn't be. Excuse me.
Well, that's something.
So, after all this happens, the town guards who are out by the walls are making it to the center of town. They are trying to carry the more wounded ones to any kind of apothecaries or anybody who they think could lend a hand for any kind of healing or last rites, that sort of thing. But what do
Clerics.
Yeah, what do you guys want to do?
Yeah, I find sort of like the nearest woundedest person, and I'm going to lay on hands.
Go for it.
Roll plus cha.
Plus charisma, and you're scarred, so remember to take one off of that.
Is it one from the roll or one from the stat?
One from the modifier, I believe.
It's totally one from the modifier. Gross. Hey!
10. You heal 1 D8 damage or remove 1 disease. They don't have any diseases.
Yeah.
Super bad burns don't qualify. So roll me some healing.
You said he heals 1d8 damage?
Heals
To the
them
person he's
D8
touching.
damage.
5. They seem to be in a little bit less pain. I mean, they've still got the boils on their skin, but the odds of them getting any kind of horrible infection or having to have any limbs amputated are lessened by the divine power that you have channeled into their bodies.
It was the least I could do.
Through some shaking and shivering, they, thank you, Paladin, thank you, and they pass out. Shock is still a thing.
Yep.
Anybody else want to thing to do?
I'm gonna check on my dog.
Rook will offer help for the dog, but also he's going to go around helping people like Boltus did.
Why don't you roll me, is your heal spell automatic, Rook, or do you have to roll?
I do not have heal memorized. I have cure light wounds and magic weapon.
Magic weapon probably won't help in this one unless you're doing some real special last rites.
Sorry, I have magic.
He's gonna use his magic weapon to kill death.
Yeah, why don't you roll me your cast a spell, and we'll see if that works for currency folks.
Could have been worse.
Spells cast, but choose one. Unwelcome attention, a -1 ongoing, or a spell is revoked by your deity after you cast it.
Oh, I'm totally going to use unwelcome attention because this is a perfect opportunity for people to blame us for what's happening.
I want to make the joke about Bill sitting close to you again, but I can't because I already did that once.
Bill.
You feel breathing
Take a
just
shot.
directly over your shoulder. He's trying to rub your back. He's like, "You look real tense. Let me get in there, buddy." No.
Just try to help.
Bill, your thumbs are like ice picks.
They're icy hot.
That's such a scam.
So is Bill rolling a help hinder check? Is that what I'm hearing?
I don't know if I wouldn't know if he has the ability to help cast a spell. Yes, you cast your spell. You provide some healing, and while some people rally behind your show of faith, others see that as the very thing that has put this town in the predicament that it's currently in. So some of the people, most of whom you recognize as being here before the town was conquered, but there are a few of the new folks in here as well. They're saying, your gods are what started this in the first place. Why don't you take your prayers and get out of town? And
No.
a few of them start trying to pick up like rubble and throw it in your direction.
Well, I like to think that Lash would turn another cheek in this scenario, so...
Roll me a d4 and subtract your armor.
I was kidding about Lash rolling turning another cheek ever.
Yeah,
Right?
I figured as much.
I list the people that are injuring me for, and we'll plan on retributing them later, unless they're small children, in which case they're okay. 2 damage.
Okay, and I think your armor is at least 2, huh?
Yeah, I got a shield and the thingy, the chainmails.
Okay. So they're pelting you with rocks and sticks and pretty much whatever is nearby. Somebody actually throws a charred bone at you because why the hell not, huh? We're not good people at this point.
Hey, look, man.
Bill is really pissed off.
Remember that I stood up in defense of this town when enemies of foreign attacked it. The fact that you're attacking those who would stand in defense of your town speaks more of you than it does of anyone else. You should feel shame as a minor action.
They look absolutely confused by the end of that statement.
That was
and
amazing.
their confusion is enough for some of them to actually just walk away. He's crazy. That's all there is to it. This guy's crazy. We're out. No, just...
Is there any damage done to Rook?
No.
Okay.
Bill, how do you respond to seeing stuff being thrown at Rook, though? Being all sworn to protect him and stuff.
I've been by him since I used my defense action last session.
That's 6 days game time away.
But it lasts as long as I stand by him.
Dude.
Okay.
Dude.
Bill intercepts each charred bone and throw it at Voltus, Rook, whatever my character's name
And
is.
like,
I mean, you don't even have to roll anything right now for it. Just like how are you responding to people throwing crap at this person that you are sworn to defend?
First person that threw something at him, Bill runs up, holsters his club, and punches him in the face.
Nice.
Okay. Roll me a d6.
You said I didn't have to roll shit.
Until you decided an action. Okay, look, if it's a... Oh, Jesus Christ, he didn't let me finish. I was going to say, if it's a 1 or a 2, it's a kid. If it's a 3 or a 4, it's an adult.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Bill, you punched a kid!
The fact that it's an even means you're punching a little boy.
Oh no, that's somehow better. So it's make it a little bit.
He needs to grow up and be a man.
This is
someday.
all bad. I don't want to punch a kid.
Roll me a hack and slash, Bobby.
That's a 2d6
Plus strength.
plus strength.
Bobby,
Oh, damn
Just
it.
decking a kid in the teeth.
He may explode a kid. We're about to see.
I feel bad about rolling this until I'm using the keyboard right now.
don't feel bad about rolling. We'll feel bad about the critical hit.
Oh, jeez.
Oh,
All right, so he
Bobby.
rolled an 11.
Bobby.
Now,
Yeah, yeah.
Expose yourself to additional harm to deal extra
I was about
damage.
to say, do you want to roll an extra d6 and expose yourself to, additional attack?
As a warning, the additional harm might be caused by Rook and/or Vultus.
Are you opening yourself up to additional stuff, Bobby? Bill?
No!
Okay. Roll me a d10.
And then a d4 because I took that thing when I leveled up.
You
Oh,
crit!
God.
You rolled 10 damage!
Oh my god.
So where there was a child,
give me
there
a
is now
name for the little boy you just killed.
Timmy.
Trophy.
Name him and then kill him.
William.
Worst initiation ever.
Will dot I dot.
It's Will I Was.
Jesus Christ. Can I re-roll to who that attack was against? Please? Please, I will expose myself to damage.
You can swing at somebody else, and we'll see if you get better luck on that one.
Yo, let me tell you how mad people got when I killed a goat. Okay.
You killed a goat?
Dave, do you remember the time that you kicked someone down a well and you killed them?
That was literally hundreds of years ago. Okay.
Okay, now you're punching a grown man.
Bill,
That's
Bill,
fine.
Bill, stop while you're behind.
Okay,
What?
so you just saw Bill punch a young child
To death.
really hard, like
No, this is not.
rib crack punch,
can't-
and the kid just fell over in a heap.
We can't do that because we're the heroes.
You guys can try to intercept before Bill gets to the next target.
Can I try and roll a defend on the child?
Yes, but you can't roll plus bond because this is the kid he just killed already,
Yes.
or the kid he was about to attack. Yeah, you
Can I try and
to defend-
intercept it?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I don't.
We
Please
can
do.
rewind that.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you fucking murdered that kid.
It's 2d6
I
plus
don't want to
con,
murder a child.
and I don't have any con, so I mean,
Bill just sees blood in his eyes when anybody tries to attack Rook.
yeah, it's.
Zarko, are you set on doing this? Because I will also interfere.
Zarko, I was about to say, if you want, you could try to interfere, and you could. Do you have a bond with Bill?
No, not current.
Shit. Okay. If you interfere with Bill, you can make him take a -2, which
Gets him down to a 9.
Yeah, but
for
you need to have.
punching a kid
I
in the
need to
It'd
have
be
a
a
bond with
9.
him. I need to have a bond with him to interfere.
no, you just get like the only modifier to it is the bond. You still get to roll the 2d6.
It says to help or hinder someone you have a bond with.
Yeah.
See,
you need to have the bond.
on the SRD, it doesn't. It just says when you help or hinder someone.
Okay,
roll
I'm
plus
looking
bond
at the
with them.
character sheet list and it says that, so I don't,
No,
I don't know.
I'm cool with you rolling it if you don't have a bond with them. It just won't. It would be a roll with no modifier. But all that would do would be to open him up to other damage. So I don't know. Anyway, so you're trying to defend this kid, yeah?
Yeah.
How are you doing this?
he's forcing his unseen servant in the way.
The unseen servant pulls down his pants, goddammit.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think what I'm doing is I'm like leaping to try and grab his legs
The thing
like,
is,
stop
no
him from-
pants,
from
no
hitting
pants
him.
wouldn't really bother Bill.
No,
You
no,
just feel
not
more
not your
comfortable?
pants, your legs, like to stop you like short
To tackle
from
you.
getting there.
Oh, okay.
If you take off his pants, he will be wearing shorts.
Anyway, let me roll
Well.
the dice. 3.
Bill seems pretty commanding.
So I fail.
Bobby, roll me a d10.
What is this for? I'm gonna do it, but
You're punching
what's it
Zarko. Also,
for? Okay.
don't forget to take your armor off. So, take the value of your armor off of the 5, Zarko. Not, hey, get naked, he's punching you, because that does not how this works.
I was about to use my trademark line of "yes, slowly."
Maybe if he gets naked, I won't punch him. We don't know. You don't know, Bill.
Okay, so, Zarko, you attempt to shield this child. You are pushed to the side by just a strong backhand before the fist connects with the kid and kills him.
God damn it! Stop saying every time I kill
Before Bill
a kid.
kills this innocent child who was throwing a rock. So the rest of the party, you saw all this happening. Also, Zarko, you can act again if you want. Before we do that, though, Sam, you get to you see Max. His back legs are burned. His tail doesn't really have hair on it right now. It's kind of this gross little rat tail looking thing.
Reptile dog.
He's whimpering as he walks. He's got a weird limp since both of his back legs are burned and they hurt him a lot to move.
Oh my god.
That poor dog. Luckily, no one punched him.
Don't say that. Bill might still be angry.
Does the dog look?
Bill is always angry and dumb.
For the time being, you could probably, if you were forced to, you could still use him to help you track stuff, but he would be effectively useless in combat.
Okay.
There are some people here in town who are skilled at treating animals for various injuries and maladies and such. Seeking one of those out would probably be in Max's best interest.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna leave everyone else to this whatever is happening with Bill because I just don't even. And I'm gonna find a vet for Max.
Okay.
Chris, what's the punishment for child murder in First Conquest?
Y'all are gonna find out.
No, because I want to arrest Bill and detain him and bring him to guards.
Yeah.
Rook, help me.
Bobby, you're covered to your shins in kid blood, and you're asking for help.
And it's not the kind of kid that Zarko killed.
Oh.
Wait, what?
That was
Zarko
funny.
killed a goat.
Oh,
And a baby goat as a kid.
You weren't there. It was a grown-ass goat.
So what you're saying is we only have one child murderer in the party.
So far.
I didn't mean to.
Yeah, we haven't. Never mind. We'll get to that later.
We'll get to that next time we're doing background for Zarko.
Yeah.
Sam, Jesus. Towards, it's kind of on the way to the gates that you guys came in from. It's draw a little X on the map. It's to the southeast of the town.
Okay.
There is a well-respected animal apothecary / mender who, when you bring Max in, she looks a bit shocked. She says, "What happened here? What is this?
There was this weird.
Does this have something to do with the voices?"
Yes. When the voices finished and disappeared, there was a giant fireball, and there was a family, and we couldn't get out of the way in time without, shoving the family in the way of the fireball, which
And no one would do that.
had its own problems.
No one would put an innocent child in harm's way.
She says, "This is definitely not a good sign of things to come."
I'm afraid it is not. At any rate, can you treat him?
I'll do my best, Sam, but you don't often see something like this. If you can go to one of the apothecaries on the northern edge of town, ask. She writes down a few things on a piece of paper. She goes, "Ask them for this. It'll cost you some coin, but it'll speed the healing process."
Understood.
It's the best
I will
burn
head
treatment herbs that we could gather.
All right.
So you go off to do that. I'm not going to make you, narrate the whole thing.
Okay, good.
It'll cost you about 15 coin for these herbs.
All right.
And spices?
Spices are extra.
There are 7 of them.
Spices are optional.
Max's back legs are fucking delicious.
Oh, gross! You guys, no.
No, so she begins work on mushing them up and distilling the oils and stuff to make the best poultice that she can to apply to the burns. But after you ran out of the town square, we're being a little fucky with time right now because a lot of stuff's happening.
Fuck time.
Bill has just killed a child.
Yeah. Quick question. The whole like magical writers, giant mouth, etc.
Yes.
Is that all still there?
No.
Okay.
After the voice dissipated, the light kind of went back to the discs the riders are on. The clouds have started to break up, and the riders all went in different directions. Voltus stopped one of them, or tried to, caught the fireball, and that's the order of things.
Bill asks out loud, "Who hasn't accidentally killed a child?"
Bill wears his.
I find my gag that I keep next to like my fantasy era handcuffs, so I can apply that to Bill. But yeah, what is the punishment on the books for child murder?
Who accidentally killed a child?
Well, I feel like that would be a good world-building thing for us all to decide. What is the general stance on punishment for murder in First Conquest, which is very religious and is partially influenced by the god of bloody retribution and bloody conquest?
Bill takes the gag out of his mouth and says, "They let him go."
Yeah, that's not it.
I feel like this is a good discussion for us all to have. How is murder generally viewed?
Probably depends on whether it's done in retribution or not.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think murder doesn't discriminate with age. It's more about like was it in self-defense or not?
Yeah.
Or was it like a crime of passion or not or whatever?
It was definitely a crime of passion. He threw a thing at my friend.
I have a feeling generally the punishment for murder is death, but
Well, fuck you too.
that's just how they rolled back in the day. And also
Back in the day of fantasy with half-orcs.
Back in the day with the fucking Voltus is the cleric of these gods we're talking about that we have the laws
Yeah.
applied.
Voltus isn't a cleric, he's just a very passionate street preacher.
Sorry, Voltus, the groupie of the god that...
Street preacher. He's got like one of those Jesus fish belt buckles, except but for lash.
Okay, so Bill is arrested. Let's see what happens now.
The current vote is that murder is generally repaid with murder or execution. Let's say. Does anyone feel that is unfair or anything?
I feel like it fits the lore of the town.
Okay, I agree. I just wanted to make sure
Yeah.
we're all on the same page.
I mean, it is explicitly in the byline of the Lash religion we wrote up. So
Yes.
So, is this my last session for the campaign?
You better start rolling up a new character.
No, don't worry. We're gonna have like a whole Phoenix Wright episode.
I was about to say this is the first part of the Law and Order episode. We're about to get to the dun dun.
Dun dun, yeah.
objection.
Your Honor, I would like to introduce into evidence the charred bone that was thrown at my friend.
So what we're gonna do?
Want to introduce into evidence that this kid was kind of a dick anyway.
He was throwing shit, and that's not.
Who throws
Dun
a
dun.
bone? I mean, really.
So this is not how I expected the session to go at all.
With Bill in friggin' cuffs.
Yeah. You had like a really awesome. You had a really awesome like thing go on, but now it's all personal and shit.
Well, that is completely okay. This can take a backseat. You know what's fun? The average trial takes about 10 days.
Goodness.
Dun dun.
So,
This is that story.
Voltus, you are you're trying to restrain Bill.
Yes.
Okay, Bill, are you fighting this?
No.
That makes it easier.
Aside from the gag, are you tying him up or anything?
Oh yeah, binding his wrists.
Before you bind my wrists, I take the gag out of my mouth.
Roughly how heavy is Bill?
270 pounds.
Okay, I'm not carrying that across town. You get to
But yeah, I take the gag out of my mouth, but I submit to the wristbands.
There is an organized sort of as about 10 heavily armed town guards come the square of town. They have halberds.
Are you sure they aren't billhooks?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what a billhook is. What's a billhook? I know what you're trying to do, but I really want to know what a billhook is, because if it's cool, then yes, maybe it is a billhook.
Yeah,
It's a type of
I'm
full
also kind
arm
of curious.
with a hook on the end.
Yeah,
Let's say there's 2 of those.
one on each side.
Yes. So they break file. They form a circle around Bill and Voltus. They point their weapons in their general direction. And they say, Paladin, this man murdered a child. We'll be taking him.
I'm going to come with you in case he tries to escape,
No, Bill is
because I will kill him myself.
going to submit. He realizes that he did a very terrible thing. He's not going to resist at all.
You can follow behind us, but you will not get in the way of us. Is that understood?
Yes.
Very well. 2 of them with the hooks, they put them in the crook of Bill's arms so he can't break free because they're holding his arms.
And they're bill hooks. They hook Bill with the bill hooks.
Right.
And they put the hooks in the crook of his arm.
Yeah.
Bill asks, "What are these called?"
They're called hooks. Why?
Is there? Are they known
It's
by
the
another
formative
name?
event that causes them to be changed from merely hooks to bill hooks.
Quiet, prisoner! And one of them kind of hits you in the neck.
Bill coughs up blood.
So the 2 of them are at Bill's sides. There's 2 in front of him, and there's 4 behind him. And I guess Voltus can take up position behind those 4.
Yeah.
Is anybody else going to come along with this, or are you all going to leave and try to figure out something else to do?
Why the
Well,
fuck
I
did I have
guess-
to roll a 2? God damn it!
I guess, I'm directly responsible.
Thanks.
No, I think Bill is.
Yes, Bill is indirectly responsible.
A short time later, you're brought to what functions as, on one side of the large building, the barracks for the town guard who live in the guardhouse. It's actually a short way from the town gates. It's basically, when you're leaving town, you can take a right to head to the town gates, or a left will take you across a guarded bridge to a separately walled complex. There's a large building that functions. The back of it is a prison of sorts, and the front of it is the barracks for the town guard, and sort of like a training yard and everything. Bill is led into there, with Voltus and Rook trailing behind. They bring him to a front counter where a scribe takes record of Bill's name. They know who you are, but they're still going to ask you, what's your name? State your name for the record.
Billy.
Gene.
Not my lover.
She's just a girl.
Thinks that I am the one.
But the
We're
kid...
doing good at music tonight.
What's he accused of? One of them says murder, and one of them spits kind of at Bill's feet and he says, of a child. The scribe's eyes his eyebrows arch. He says, oh, follow me, we'll escort him to his cell. And they take him to kind of one of the dark corners of the prison, toss him in a cell. It's a very basic room. You've got a tiny hole that you can pee and poop in. Maybe big enough to fit your hand in if you're an elf, but you're not. So, tiny hole. And some hay to sleep on. They lock you up, and one of the guardsmen looks over at Voltus and Brooke. He says, the trial will be soon. We have no others slated. So, according to the rules, he will need representation. Are you associates of his?
Yep, it's our fault.
I can understand if you want to walk away from this, but does one of you want to represent him?
So, Rook turns to Voltus and says, rock, paper, scissors?
Oh, I'm not going. I'm not here in defense.
So I'll defend him.
Bill sits up from his hay bed, looks over at Rook and says, "Fucking really? Rock, paper, scissors."
Look, man, you're the one who punched a child to death.
That wasn't my fault.
It just happened.
In what universe?
Rook,
The dice made him do
Rook,
it.
I didn't do it. It was somebody else. I'm innocent.
Voltus, you know that, or you all know, but you're the one who's here.
Yes.
So if anybody else wants to volunteer for this, you know that the way this goes is usually someone who is associated with the defendant will defend him.
Mm-hmm.
Someone who also knows the defendant is supposed to be the one to prosecute him.
Yes, very. Sign me up.
God damn it.
You also know that, according to the laws of this town, if you throw the case, or they think you throw the case, you face the penalty instead of the defendant.
I'm sworn to tell the truth, and I have senses that pierce lies currently.
Oh,
I am
snap.
not going
The jury's
to-
going to love that.
Seriously.
You're going to know that Bill didn't mean to kill a child since you can sense the truth.
I will also know that Bill killed the child since I watched it happen.
Well, yeah, that's part of it, but it's not the whole thing.
That's part of the truth. If you want to be
Motivation
a
is the
nerd
other
about
part.
it.
I gotta think of like a legal system and precedents and shit. Great. First I just had to have like an opposing army, and now I have to think up a legal system.
I gotta say, this is
We just
way
make this shit
fancier
complicated, don't we?
of a legal system than I was expecting.
Chris, you're the one that made me roll to whether or not I was going to kill a child.
No. You said you were gonna punch him, and I made you follow through on your words.
On who I was going to punch, and you made one of the options a child.
You rolled before he told you the options.
Yeah, first off, I wasn't going to originally, and then I think it was Mike who said, "Man, wouldn't it be crazy if you punched a kid?" And I was like, "Roll me a d6, and we'll have girl, guy, girl, guy, girl, guy for progressive age." And then you rolled it before I even had a chance to say anything. So you punched a kid.
So
and it's
one
your
or two
fault.
would be male or female child.
Don't
Four-
put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
3 or 4 would have been male or female adult. Would 5 or 6 have been male or female elderly
Old
person?
Yes.
God damn it.
Like one of the respected elders in town who just like was super pissed off at the situation.
That you decked in the face fatally.
Hey, old lady.
Bam!
It's still better than a child.
That's a nice looking purse, kapow!
You should just leave. And then Bill comes in, he's like, "Quit it, bitch! Boom!"
This is also a robbery.
Oh my god!
So, for trying to defend Rook, you made me a monster. You gave me a 66% chance to be a monster.
This is
Yes.
very true.
Honestly, the capability to be a monster was in you always.
Yes.
The real monster was inside you all along. The real monster was friendship.
That is true. The real monster was friendship.
Yes. Lesson learned, never stick up for any party member. It's only going to go badly for you.
Why do you think I'm prosecuting one?
Check his health bar before you punch the attacker. So, geez, okay. We're going to end the episode here, I guess. Thank you, everybody, for downloading this episode of That D&D podcast.
And we're sorry.
Next episode, Bill breaks out of jail.
I know there were a few little tangents here or there, but this is the first game we've had together in probably like 3 months or so, I think.
I'm really excited to find out what everybody else was up to.
Yeah, y'all
Not
can talk
goat
about that
murder.
while you're in the waiting room of the courthouse.
Apparently there were
let's-
skeletons we're not supposed to know about.
Oof.
Dun dun.
We created a skeleton army.
There.
And Zarko botched stabbing a goat or something.
He punched a goat and then broke its neck.
What are you, Bill?
Hold on, we're gonna recap all that after we finish the recording. So, yes, thank you everybody for downloading this episode of That D&D podcast. We hope you continue to like, share, and subscribe.
Please, God, after this episode, we hope you continue to like, share, subscribe.
Yeah, seriously.
We would really appreciate it if you would leave us a review on iTunes. If you have any questions or comments or anything, drop us a line over at thatdndpodcast@gmail.com. And while we've got your attention, how do you think this trial should go? Send us a tweet to @thatdndpodcast with hashtag Fry'em or hashtag Free'em.
Oh my god.
Fry 'em or free 'em. Nice.
I guess that's going to be it for tonight. So take it away, Mike.
That D&D podcast is released under Creative Commons 2.0 Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivative License. Tell your friends about us, but don't chop out the good stuff and don't sell our work. The intro music is The Last Ones by Jahzzar, that's Jahzzar. It can be found at the Free Music Archive. The outro music is Kopika, Kopeika, by Et, that's ET_, and can also be found at the Free Music Archive. All other copyrighted content is owned by their associated copyright holder.